the interior of my abode for last night. Oh, it was cold. It was very cold. I've got to take this down now and repack it ready for tonight. Not really looking forward to that, but I may have made a few mistakes, like not wearing a lot more clothes. But yeah, so that was first night under canvas. Well, is it canvas? It's not, is it? It's like nylon really. But yeah, you might notice it's got no fly sheet with this tent. I hadn't realised that when I bought it, but anyway, we might be able to pick something up at Skipton. So I'm going to go and get a quick bit of breakfast now and get on the road. Well, I had a very pleasant evening in the Dalesbridge campsite. Very hospitable. Nice little bar they've got there, very friendly. There was a convention of power gliders or hang gliders, I wasn't quite sure which, but there's a lot of them and they're competing. They're going to go off one of the three peaks, Whernside. This morning I watched them set off, and I don't know whether convention of hang gliders, I don't know, a flight of hang gliders, a collective noun for hang gliders. There probably is one, but I'm just guessing on that. Yeah, so very pleasant evening, but very, very struggling in the night with the cold. The tent really wasn't much up to it. It's no fly sheet, as I think I mentioned, yeah, it came as a surprise, that the shock of that cold. You know, you forget just and the uncomfortable position you find yourself in, especially as you walk 25 days with this bag on my back. I was cramping up every which way. I feel all right this morning though. Had a coffee and a pastry now in the camp shop, very nice, and that set me up for my walk to Skipton, which is where I'm going next. It's not such a long walk today. I'll probably be thankful of that. I think we're only doing about 20 miles today, and then onward from there, somewhere around about Harrogate, and then York on Saturday. So I'll get this pack on my back. I think I've sorted out the straps now, though it makes it so tight. This is the road I'm going on for, well, the whole way to Skipton. It's going to be busy traffic wise, but what's new? Yeah, the straps, I've worked out how I can keep them in place, but it makes it so tight it's hard to breathe. The things you do. Okay, well, I'm going to get off now while I'm still in a happy mood. That's interesting little setup there. If you there's a little Milton Keynes not real cow, what should we call it? I think there's also one up in Hawkshead. I have a friend who was up there recently who sent me a picture of the chocolate cow. Well, it was advertising chocolate, I believe. Yeah, cheese and wine and all that jazz in there. Lovely. As you can see, the traffic is piling past. This is the A65. It's a direct route. I can't find a back route. I wish I could, to Settle, which is the next town that I've passed through. It's this for miles, and actually it's this for all day. You can walk on a bit of a verge. It's okay in places, it's not so great in others. Just to keep out of the headlights, and more importantly the bumper bars of these oncoming cars. I know I'm always on about this sort of thing, but and I do take my, you know, it's my choice to take my life in my hands a little bit doing this stuff, but I kind of really have to do it. Now I've just come to, this is okay. There's a proper little, it's not a footway by any means, but it's the bit of the road in which the traffic shouldn't be using, so I might have a chance. Oh, he's a big boy. You want to get kicked by him. and then a gap to the next stream. Okay, enough of that, but I might get back to you if I find anything that's worth mentioning. Well, I've just found that back road I was looking for that I couldn't find and didn't think existed, but here it is. I'm not a walker in these areas. I've done the Three Peaks, as I say, so I've been local-ish, but I haven't spent a lot of time here, so I'm not really familiar with the terrain, as it were. But this little road is much quieter, still has traffic, but much quieter than the A65 main road, and it'll drop me into Skipton via Giggleswick. If you've never had your wick giggled, well, we're going to have an experience. So yeah, this is a much quieter little, having said that, the car flying down towards me now. How soon will he see me? Oh, quite quickly. So yeah, this will take me I think about 4 miles, and it'll drop me into Settle quite nicely. I could possibly stop for a quick bite of something by then, certainly have a drink by then, and then onward to Skipton. So I've found my back road. So all around here is limestone, and not so very far from here there are famous caves you can go in. White Scar Cave, Ingleton Caves, you can go in and have a look around. Obviously limestone was laid down millions of years ago, so all this was under the sea once, and then I think the sea probably receded a bit and the land pushed up a bit and left us with all these lovely limestone. Are they escarpments? Is that what an escarpment is? Oh, Mr. Car, I'm letting you down. Yeah, I think they are. But anyway, if they are, if they're not, still lovely formations. And this is a lovely back road. Yeah, enjoying this. This is really peaceful. There's a few cars, but I'm solidly safe here. Well, as safe as you can be, on a grass verge. It's been walked on, so there's a bit of a track already laid out for me. So yeah, I wish it was like this all the way to York, to be honest, but I know it won't be. I know it will get tough again in an hour or two, but yeah, this is great for now. Oh, and the sun's coming out as well. You've got to be able to see the sun, even with this GoPro. My best friends, the motorcyclists, to be fair, they weren't going too quick because they were going uphill, and there were not too many of them. I don't want to give the impression I'm an anti-motorcyclist. Just when they take the tight bends, I say the racing line, when I'm occupying that space, that's really what I was getting at. They were fine, good lads. Well, I'm on with Mark Twain on this one, and it's never interested me, golf. I've had a few rounds. My dad played a bit, so I went round with him a couple of times, and I've played a Ryder Cup course, which is ridiculous for a non-golfer, but it was a hospitality day, and everybody had to have a go, and there were some genuinely decent golfers had been invited. They wouldn't believe just how bad I was going to be when I said, look, just put me the last person out. And in fact, I went out with the last 4, and it was dark on the last 2 holes. Literally, we were playing in the dark, and when we got in, everybody got back. They'd showered, they changed, and they were in the bar quaffing beers, and we came in bedraggled as sort of as non-golfers who've gone round in about 128. Actually, I'm probably exaggerating, it was probably more than that. Yeah, and that was the Belfry Ryder Cup course, and that's a claim to fame I've got for golf, but I wouldn't take it regularly if you paid me. It's as I say, check it out, the quote, Mark Twain. That's all I'm saying. Well, I just come across this. Careful what I'm doing. I just come across this golf ball on the road. I mean, that must be one heck of a slice of somebody's. RF, I can tell you who it is. RF, I've got your ball, mate. Are you there? RF, I've got your ball. No reply. I'll throw it back on. I've thrown it back on. I've thrown it back on here, which is about 400 yards from, or maybe not that far, maybe 300 yards from where I picked it up. So anybody finding that and retrieving it who knows RF, and probably does, it looks like only a small little clubhouse, so they'll all know each other intimately, I would imagine, these golfers. He's going to say, well, how the heck did you slice it that far? Oh dear, the things we do for a laugh. Well, we passed the Heart's End pub, which told us that we're at Giggleswick. That's what it says on the sign. Whether that's a sort of sexier village than Settle, I'm not sure, but we sort of passed by there. I readjusted my bag. I expected to come into the village of Giggleswick, but not more than 300 or 400 metres on, I'm now looking at a sign for Settle. It looks like we've bypassed Giggleswick, and I would have liked to have seen it because I've never been there before. Always curious to find a new village to admire, but now here we are, just walking into Settle. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because it means we got here quicker than I imagined, but nonetheless, here we are. There's a sign up here, and we're looking for the Skipton sign, which will take us out of Settle once again and heading towards our destination for the day, though we've a long way to go yet. Probably over 15 miles left. £11, so probably a bit early to stop for something to eat, but it's nice here. It would be nice to stop here, but too soon, alas. We'll find something on the way. Well, there's the sign. Haultney Riversdale, I know. I've stayed there when I took part in the Three Peaks Challenge. And yes, Skipton this way, A65. Good. So I'm walking out now, out of Settle. Nice spot. Never, if I've been here, I don't remember it. I may have driven through. Plenty going on here. Lots of place to eat and drink, and several outdoor shops if you need to top up with your outdoor walking or camping needs. I'm climbing this hill now because I'm following the way the road is again. I seem to have followed most of it inadvertently. I suppose it's bound to happen if I'm going to be stopping off at places that are on the route, but I thought a lot of the I thought a lot of the past the route the way the roses took was off my notional journey plan, but it appears not, so I'm following it now. Kirby Malham, if you're not familiar, you'll know or may have heard of Malham Tarn, which we'll be passing by, but not that close that we'll probably be able to see it. And Malham Cove, of course, is a favourite with walkers. Looks like quite a steep hill this. So, yeah, so Malham, Gargrave, and then Skipton, the final destination still. You can tell from the deep breathing, this steep hill that I described only minutes ago has turned out to be a Brahma. It's one of the steepest climbs I've done in a very long time. Road climbs, that is. Not including Helvellyn, of course. As you see from the side, it's 12% incline. That's serious going. And of course we'll do it, but it has caught my breath a little bit because of the length of this climb. So we'll continue. Well, we've topped out now. Oh, you can't see the full descent, which was my ascent, but we double the feet climb for the day to 900 feet, so about 450 feet in a little over a quarter of a mile. That was brutal. Hasn't finished me off, but I can certainly feel the ache in my thighs now, but hopefully I can just walk that off. Here's one of our motorcycling friends. Lost his mates, obviously. There was a few went past me as I was going up the hill, so perhaps he's one of them. But this is beautiful. This is beautiful walking, and yeah, there's probably a bit lumpy up and downy, but not as perilous as the main road into Skipton, so I'm quite happy for that. Cars tend to be going a little slower on these more narrow lanes, so yeah, fabulous days walking now. And we're still climbing. I said it might be a bit uppy downy, but it's been a lot uppy even since I last spoke to you, so that's good. I need these feet in my feet in my legs. Looks like it continues up the road, a bit flat first, then a little bit more up. As I say, that's good. We'll get over 2,000 feet in today for sure, and I need it. It's beautiful. What I call a Simpsons sky. If you recall the opening credits to The Simpsons, that blue sky, that fluffy white clouds, Simpsons sky. But a bit black over Bill's mother's. Hopefully, like yesterday, that'll stay off. I've come off the route. It's still climbing, but I've come off it. I'm going to have my first drink of the day, actually. I don't know how I do it, how I go so long without water. It's not natural. I'm like a camel, but I'm feeling a bit thirsty now, so I'm going to stop. Maybe just I've got a pork pie here, an emergency pork pie in case I didn't come across anywhere on the way. I'm certainly not going to find anything up here, but I have found this curious stone. In the distance is Ingleborough, and beyond that Whernside, but this stone caught my attention as I was walking up the hill. It's pretty long, this grass, and I imagine in wetter weather, which we don't have much of lately, it's be very marshy, the sort of grass that grows in marshy conditions. Now, I know there will be people who know all about this stone, and if it's got any history, any story to it. It looks like it's been sort of hollowed out. The rest of the stone round, like a stone circle, like a mini Stonehenge. Yeah, it's got a ring and then what looks like an outer ring. And you've got this, looks like man-made carving, concave affair there. It might be my imagination, which often runs wild with me, but I'd say I bet there's a story about this, and I'll look it up when I get home. I need to take a reading of where we are for future reference, but yeah. But the view's fantastic up here. It's a little bit chilly. I wouldn't want to take a layer off just yet. There's a bit of a breeze blowing, but nothing too drastic that I'm going to freeze to the bone. Just pleasant for walking in. Yeah, so a little walk round the side here. I know the history buffs like to think this sort of stuff is ritual, that druids or the like would have come here and worshipped or whatever. Again, my imagination possibly going into overload, but those concave carvings, or not carvings, but the way it's just the stone is carved, I wouldn't have thought was natural. Weathering. There's some sort of holes as well. Are they natural? Have they been knocked in? I don't know. There's tiny pebbles in there from whence it was at the bottom of the sea. But I'm not so sure. It's got that lichen and stuff on it, lichen and the like, but I'm not so sure that's actually limestone. Maybe it is. Just looks clearer when it's on those escarpments. It must probably be limestone as well. But, or do they call that millstone grit? That's a good one, isn't it? Millstone grit. Looks gritty. Anyway, I'm going to get off and just have that drink of water and my emergency pork pie, and then crack on down to Gargrave. Well, I've found the Pennine route, Pennine Way route, which I last travelled the whole length of 27 years ago. So I'm not sure, but I'm hoping I can follow it into Gargrave, which would be lovely if I can, because it's off the road and it's got this lovely little river here. We've got a bridge to cross here. I don't remember doing it all those years ago. You don't when it's 27 years. Sadly I put a scratch on my GoPro screen, so I'm looking at you now with a big scratch across my face. Don't know how that happened. Disappointed, but I'm hoping it's not altered the recording ability of this GoPro camera. Seems to be losing my voice, I don't know why. Not like I'm speaking to anybody very much, except you obviously. But yeah, so we're going to go across this little bridge here and follow it somewhere, I think along there, maybe up there, I don't know. I'm not going to map, I'm not looking at a map. We can find our way there. and that's Gargrave, and I think that's about 3 miles of walking from here. And then Skipton's just beyond there. When I get there, I'll sit down and I'll start to look for a campsite that's the other side of Skipton. I haven't even started to look yet. I just thought it'd be interesting just to do it and then find somewhere much later in the afternoon, which is what I'm about to do. So from this wonderful idyllic setting on the Pennine Way, bye-bye. So this is the way of the Pennine Way. Just met a few walkers, which is nice to see. Exchanged hellos and howdy do's and where you're off to. Most of them are going to Malham, which we bypassed. We didn't go through Malham because it wasn't on my route, but it is on the Pennine Way route. So yeah, fabulous. If you're a walker, you're in the Pennine route, it really is good. It takes in a lot of diverse countryside. You're going through a lot of rolling hills like this, a bit more rugged down in the Derbyshire peaks, of course, and then you sort of head out. You've got the forest up in Northumberland, and it tops out at a place called Kirk Yetholm, which is just over the border in Scotland, as you'd imagine, with a name like Kirk Yetholm, where once upon a time, I said it's a long time since I've done it, but the hotel there, and there is only one big hotel pub complex, I stayed there when I finished it. You get Wainwright's pint. They give you a pint of whatever you want. Now that may have ceased because Wainwright, I'm just going off the track then. Yeah, I think this is the track. Yeah, it must be because of the fence down there. Yeah, because Wainwright was around, and I think he was topping up the subs every year. But I'm not so sure now that he's not. Whether the Wainwright Society continue that time-honoured tradition of giving the traveller, the hiker who's made it all the way from Edale to Kirk Yetholm a pint, and they well deserve it, at the very least of a prize. I don't know, maybe they do, maybe they don't. Something for us to check up on another time when we've got the time. So yeah, I just thought I'd come back and just show you a bit more of what I'm seeing as I wander on. I've taken a layer off, and I'm pretty sure by the time I get to Gargrave, another layer will be coming off too. There's a fence down here, so a gate down here, so it must be down there, and then following the contour down into what must be Gargrave, just the other side of that hill. But the times I've said that must be just wherever are innumerable, because very often it isn't where you think it is. But I do think it must be not too far over that next little hill there, because I've got it down as like another mile or so to go to Gargrave, and then to Skipton, where we can see if we can find somewhere to stay for the night in somebody's field or an organised campsite or something like that. But I do hope it's warmer tonight than tomorrow. I am a bit more prepared, or will be, in the way I lay out my stuff and how many layers I've got on in my sleeping bag tonight, so I might be a little bit more able to get some sleep, because it wasn't much last night. Okay then. Well, it looks like I was right for once. I've just come over that little hill that we saw earlier, and in the distance I can see a lovely church tower. Obviously the village surrounding it. I can only imagine the direction I'm going. There's a way sign down here, so I'm slightly off the track. But this is going to be Gargrave, which is probably a bit more than a mile away, I'd say, from that, but nevertheless. So look what this. Oh, it's taking us down this hill here, not on that path. So, okay, and maybe that beyond. Would that be Skipton? It looks like a factory site. No, maybe it is. Okay. Anyway, we're descending now down and down. So I'm presuming we're going to come out at what I presume is, what I think is Gargrave. Well, I must have seen this before, because as I mentioned several times in this vlog, I did this walk 27 years ago. But I was coming sort of south to north, so I would have come up where this car's coming now. but I never noticed this is the Leeds Liverpool Canal, and I don't know why I didn't think it'd be here, because I've been to both Leeds and seen it, then Liverpool and seen it. But there it is, Liverpool 93.5 miles, Leeds 33 3/4. Lovely. Skipton 4 3/4. That's the one we want. Okie dokie. Lovely. Nice locks. Sun's still shining. I'm still rambling. Hang on a cotton picking minute. It's about 4.5 miles on the road on the A65. I picked that road back up again. I'm back in heavy traffic, which I have really enjoyed missing for most of the day. Yeah, I've been sort of country lanes, uphill, down Dale, Pennine Way, and now that sign said Skipton 4.25 miles. So that's a little bit less than if I took the main road that's got all the traffic on it. So why wouldn't I take this road, which isn't a road? It's the towpath. Why would I not do that? Beautiful towpath. That's what I'll do. I mean, the other route, I apologise for this in advance, on the other route I've got to keep ducking, but here, mallards. Mallard. I didn't develop that little guide further. Make your own ending. Yeah, I've been able to speak duck for quite a while. That's because I'm whackers. No, stop it. Oh dear. Oh, so where are we now? Yeah, back in the game. About 2 and a smidgen miles from Skipton. We should be able to start to see the outline of it, I would have thought. Maybe we get past this next lock, if indeed it is a lock. That bridge ahead I can see. Maybe we'll start to see something. Of course, once upon a time these little towns would have been mill operated. There would have been a lot of factory chimneys in them villages, and it would have been pumping out a bit of smoke, so it would have been easier to locate even behind the trees. But even as I speak, I can see something in the distance, and in fact it looks like a chimney but no smoke coming out of it. That could be Skipton. I think that probably is. So we're homing in on it now. Afternoon. Yeah, unfortunately now that my phone's run out of power, literally nothing left in the tank for it. It's going to be difficult now to go online and find a campsite for the night. I looked a little earlier, most of them were behind me. They were more back towards Gargrave and even further back than that. I need it the other side of Skipton. I need it towards the Harrogate side, because that's where I'm walking tomorrow. So I don't want to be walking backward and forward up and down this path. So I'm going to have to go into Skipton, and I don't suppose they've got a tourist information centre that will be open when I get there, because I would imagine it will be there. They will have one, unlike Morecambe, but it will probably be closed by the time I get there. So I'm going to have to fall on the kindness of strangers to give me information as to where there might be somewhere I can rest my head and my rucksack for the night. Oh, this is quite interesting. There's a community of people living on the canal here. I'm just coming into Skipton, I'm nearly there now. As somebody shouted to me, "Where are you heading for?" I said, "Skipton." He said, "You're there." Oh, that's good. Yeah, so we've got all the way back down the canal. You can see all these boats all moored up here. And I'm presuming the houseboats people are living on. That's a big old boat, that one. That's a bit more than a houseboat. I mean, that's done some serious work in its time, I'm sure. I wonder what it was originally. A great big bridge on it. I do love the names as well, the people choose for them. I mean, they're all immaculately painted, I mean, and looked after. This one's Snail's Pace. A bit like me at the moment now. I'm coming towards the end of today's walk. We're just shy of 20 mile in, and it's been a pleasant 20 miles for most of it. I don't know, I got off to a slow start because it took me a while to pack the tent and get the coffee and croissant and everything this morning. So sadly, instead of being away at 8:30, it was more like 10 to 10, so it's cost me. But I'll be in Skipton proper by 5:30, so that's not too bad. But I did feel usually the mile slip away, but there was that section that was quite hilly in the middle before we hit the Pennine Way, and I was stopping a lot for filming and bag adjustments and chatting with people, I suppose. Here's another one, summertime. It will be soon, May next week. This one's got a heron on top to scare off, what are the herons? I don't know, Fraggle. This one's Fraggle. And remember the TV programme, the Fraggle Rock, the kids programme, that was crazy. And on they go. And it looks like I'm being taken off the canal here onto a footpath with barriers. Yeah. So I'm rather hoping this just takes me around the corner and drops me down into a pub. Skipton, Skipton.